Resident Evil is a legendary horror franchise that stands strong on its own, needing no assistance in order to prevail. Resident Evil has carved out a solid formula for itself, sometimes even reinventing the genre to stay relevant, or push the industry forward. Yet where gaming thrives on borrowed ideas, even Resident Evil can learn a thing or two.
Okay.
Enter the out-of-left-field indie smash 2024 hit game, MiSide. I know, you just said, what the fuck. I hear it through your steady, evil-eyed gaze of silence. Resident Evil doesn't need help from anyone. You're right, and I don't disagree. But cue incoming hating comments from people that didn't watch the video at all anyways.
Listen.
MiSide can offer to keep Resident Evil fresh and new going forward. Quite honestly, I really just want an excuse to include this game. So if this video isn't your cup of TV juice, I'll see you next week for your dose of normal Resident Evil content. For those wondering just what the hell a MiSide is, it's a psychological horror game with a thirsty anime new coat of skin. The premise is simple at first, warping a player into the very romance RPG game he downloaded onto his phone, and within the confines of that structure, slowly breaks and unravels the twisted nature of a character bugged with ill intent within the rules of a video game. Very meta in nature. So how does that translate to Resident Evil? Like, at all? Well, kind stranger, I'm glad that you asked. So let's go over a handful of ways Resident Evil can learn from MiSide. Fully understanding by now that Resident Evil does what it wants. It needs no help until it poops out the next dud of a game, and we're all right back here wondering, why couldn't they just be more like MiSide? No takers? Alright, you got me. Resident Evil has played with different perspectives before. Resident Evil 2 Remake's A and B scenarios, and Resident Evil 7's Mia flashbacks. But what if it went even further? If Leon is the main perspective in Resident Evil 9, why not have a bonus mode where we experience the view from those Leon interacts with along the way? Resident Evil 7 did this a bit, but it was separated in character connection, only being a teaching moment for you to recall what to do when Ethan went through this previously experienced location. Doing this with the beginning camera crew and with Mia throughout the game. But I'm referring to in Resident Evil 7 when Ethan talks to the cop. Now we get a short mode to play as said cop. Even though we know his outcome, it's not pretty, and this example isn't the greatest as he likely just drove up and then got bonked. But let's say he fought through some weirdness before getting to the house. That would be a fun bonus mode in addition to the main campaign without bloating it. It's optional, doesn't diminish the core game, and is a fun side thrill adding additional content, subtly expanding the lore. This is where we might meet the hard line of no from fans as a bridge too far. Resident Evil largely stays away from MiSide's psychological horror because, let's be real, that's never really been its driving force. Resident Evil 7 muddied the waters a bit with Eve, and we've heard rumors of something akin to Eve making its way back for Resident Evil 9. Can we alter that into uncertainty for Leon to experience? What if Leon is going through a dark wooded area and starts to hallucinate evil around him? Is what that is happening on screen real or distorted? Maybe the environment even changes. Suddenly that wooded area transforms into the RPD. How are we back in time here again? Mind-bending stuff that could enhance the story's experience. Just one example, but the possibilities are endless. Gaming in general, especially sequels, tend to have this idea that making it larger, more open, is better. Which at times can be true, but generally speaking for Resident Evil, a lot of the best, truly horrifying experiences are contained in small spaces. MiSide is all about tight, small spaces. Not new by any means for Resident Evil, but it'd be easy for Resident Evil to get away and open up. It was teased in Resident Evil 4's remake briefly, likely to test the waters for reaction in future titles if successful, reeling that in more often than not can make for a better experience to behold. Even if a bit of open space is lost, the refined experience is likely more memorable. Too often in Resident Evil games do we see new characters tossed instantly to the side. MiSide makes full use of the characters it has, making each character's personality shine in all sorts of different ways. Even attributes of enemies get variety and details to make them stick out. Stop tossing aside characters besides the main crew. It's too obvious when everyone becomes fodder for the next villain or enemy. Let someone survive. Have meaning and journeys that intersect with our main hero's path. Flesh out the lore, make the games more engaging with side characters and personalities that add substance to the main characters.
We have to go!
These were a handful of ways and lessons Resident Evil can take from MiSide, and of course a lot of other games. Does it need to do any of this in order to be successful? Absolutely not. But it won't hurt for future Resident Evil games to dabble in more unique variety at times either. What were your thoughts on MiSide, and also what things could Resident Evil branch out and try or expand upon for future entries in the series? As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments below. If you like the content, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons on your way out, and I'll see you next time on Hittobox.